What's up guys, Nolan here, and today we're talking about some of the biggest changes coming to Escape from Tarkov that are a lot sooner than I thought. Just as a quick news catch up though, it's still possible that we get this patch this week, and if you caught my last video, then you'll remember the part about me talking about how I didn't hear Nikita talk about DLSS. Well, thank you, I was sent the clip with Nikita talking about DLSS, however the way he mentioned it, along with the way that he talked about the patch in that same conversation, leads me to believe that they are still planning on releasing DLSS with the next patch, and that they think the next patch was another week or two away. Nikita has actually misspoken about stuff like this in the past because, to be honest, it's tough enough to keep track of these things in one language, let alone having to explain it in another. So sometimes these things happen and things get leaked a bit. So what I think happened is we got a better understanding that BSG, or at least Nikita himself, believes this next patch is close, even a week or two away, which was said last Friday, making this week that second week of the quote-unquote week or two away. And if you didn't catch my last video, that is also where I explained my reasoning for believing it's not going to be a wipe. I'll leave that link below. So in the most recent devcast, Nikita showed off the repair kits coming with the next update. These repair kits, as they were shown, have been known about for a very long time because for some reason we had the icons of what they would look like, but they're not necessarily being used the way that we have always thought they would be used. When I talked about these in my podcast summary, I mixed these up with a different feature, which we'll get to later. The repair kits that we saw are in fact useful, even though they won't be able to be used in raid. They are useful simply because you won't need to pay to repair whatever it is you need to repair. The repair costs have been rising as the economy changes, and some high-ticket items cost a complete fortune to repair through traders. These kits will skip over that with just one click, as long as you found one in raid. When I first saw these, I assumed they were being used alongside in-raid modification and armor repair, which now seems to be different because they are still planned, just not associated with these. However, it is possible that BSG can, in the future, just make these usable in raid, I suppose. That is still an option, but I don't think they're going to be doing that, and I'll explain why. I think the final setup will be these lootable kits that you can find around or as good task rewards to repair your items efficiently and cheaply in your stash. Meanwhile, for those of us in raid and in need of repairs, I think we'll need the multi-tool as well as parts to repair weapons, while armor will just need plates. I think this setup is more in line with what BSG are planning and makes more sense instead of just having a repair kit to solve the problem. In case this is news to anyone, it is planned to have more advanced weapon modification both in and out of raid. There's actually a UI bug right now where sometimes you'll get a prompt telling you that you need a multi-tool to make that change when you're trying to modify something about your weapon. It doesn't work currently, and it won't for a while longer unless they also plan on adding that this patch. I'm not sure. What I know is incoming next patch is the in-raid armor repair, because that is planned to come with the advanced armor hitbox and custom rig feature, of which was recently moved up in priority significantly. When last spoken about, Nikita said that we wouldn't be seeing the armor hitbox and custom rig feature until after Streets. Then last week, he said it's actually coming the patch after next. So in that feature, we will not only be able to customize some rigs exactly how we want, but also for the armored rigs, we will be able to choose what plates we put in them, as well as swap those plates out while in raid. At least that's how it was explained last time that they talked about this feature. Initially, when I saw that bag full of armor plates being called the armor repair kits, that's what I just assumed that they would be used for, but I guess not. Now I assume that each armor plate will likely have its own model and drop chances in game, like magazines for guns, but I'm not certain that that's still the plan. We'll have to wait and hear the details about that when the team's ready to talk about it. So for those of you who have heard about this custom armor hitbox and rig feature for a while now, that is again now planned for the patch after this next one, which could also be the patch where we see the first iteration of Streets. If that is the case, then we will have the biggest map come with arguably the biggest feature change to the game, and yes, I am including inertia into that. If you don't think so, then check out my video on that I've linked below. It will completely change the way we see armor, weapons, and ammunition in the game. Long story short, combat as we know it will change completely again. That's because of the effectiveness of armor lowering, meaning depending on where you have your armor and what it's actually covering, some rounds can very easily sneak through, even pistol rounds and buckshot, making every single weapon in the game and every ammunition in the game way more viable, while all of the armor costs will probably come down significantly. Because who's going to pay over 600,000 rubles for some armor that if you're just turning a little bit the wrong way, some buckshot will easily penetrate? For the full details on that feature as it's been described, that full video is linked below if you want the full story. The next thing around this is the battle belt. Nikita has talked about this several times in the past as a planned feature to expand secure pockets in game. This is where we would hold our compass, GPS, radio, and possibly binoculars or rangefinders, basically the secure items that we don't lose on death. Which, by the way, I don't know if binoculars and rangefinders are going to be secure, but I'm pretty sure the GPS will be. It's possible that these features free up pockets or replace them completely. That part we're not completely sure about. I wanted to bring this up because with the reveal of the Goon Squad, it's noticeable that they have significantly more gear around their waists and clearly utilize battle belts full of stuff. This might be some clues as to when we'll be seeing the battle belts in game, which easily could be this patch, but if not, definitely makes sense to be included with the custom rig feature. The reason why I'm a bit hyped for this is because it could also mean the implementation of the items that we would store in them, like the handheld rangefinders and binoculars, or even GPS and radios. Otherwise, why add them yet? We're gonna have to wait and see. Again, it is totally possible that Nikita let it slip that he thinks this patch will be this week. Whether he did or didn't, we've been hearing about this for well over a month now, that the patch is gonna be very soon, and I really don't think that they would release DLSS on its own, especially when it's in the same conversation where he said that it's coming in the next patch. So again, might be seeing this patch this week. But as always, I will keep an eye out for anything new and let you guys know more once I do. Until then though, for the latest Tarkov news, check out these playlists here. If you like this video, then you know the drill. Please subscribe. I really appreciate the people who do. If you are looking for people to play with, check out our Discord. Links in the description if you're interested. Otherwise, I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.